If you're over 65, how would you like an extra $4,000? Well, it looks like in this bill right here, the 2025 tax bill, looks like there could be an additional $4,000. Now, as you can see here, if I scroll down, $4,000 deduction per individual for taxpayers over the age of 65. So if you're over 65, I'm gonna let you know how you could qualify this. It's not official yet, but it is in the bill and it could be very likely. Also, for Social Security Fairness Act, it may change how you pay your Medicare premiums, only for people affected by the Social Security Fairness Act. And how are people supposed to live nowadays when they can barely afford to retire?
I wish people in power would think more with their heart. It is hard for me to accept that I'm not able to enjoy the rest of my life because I have worked hard.
I'm going to play you that full video clip, really sad story of Social Security. I'll give you some other important updates as well. Before I dive into the main content, if you appreciate these Social Security updates, hit the like button and subscribe to the channel for more Social Security updates. So $4,000, how would that make you feel if you got an additional $4,000 for the year? Only if you're over 65, and there's a few other qualifications which I'm going to go over in a moment. But first, really sad story here about a woman trying to retire Social Security at 70, but yet she can't. Take a listen.
Inflation has been moderating in recent months, but prices are still nearly 24% higher than at the start of the pandemic.
In our series, The Cost of Living, Americans are telling us about their struggles to make ends meet, and we conclude with a widow on Social Security. After rent, she has less than $200 to live on.
Here, kitty, 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 kitty.
My name is Olivia Marino Carlson. I'm 70 years old. I live in Santa Fe, New Mexico. I cannot afford to retire. I live off of Social Security, which does not pay all my bills. That's why I'm looking for work. My husband was a mechanic. He developed MS. I took care of him until he passed away. I was working retail, lifting boxes. It was very hard. I'm going to the library to use the internet to look for work. I did not think that being 70 would be like this. I'm asking if there's any positions or work positions available here.
We don't have anything open right now, but keep an eye on it.
I put in an application here at Walgreens. I haven't heard back, so I'm going to check to see what's going on. They don't have an update on my application. The cost of food has gone up. Every time I blink, it goes up. I get better prices here.
You told me $10.25?
This is where I have a Bible study.
We thank you so much for this evening.
There are times when I do feel like giving up, and coming to this group helps me continue on.
Good. Right.
My greatest obstacle right now is being able to support myself. It is hard for me just to survive. I wish people in power would think more with their heart. It is hard for me to accept that I'm not able to enjoy the rest of my life because I have worked hard all my life.
Just heartbreaking, man.
What are your thoughts there? Are you in a similar situation where you feel like you're barely able to pay your bills, winding up in debt, working a lot on Social Security, feel like the promise was broken? I feel like a lot of people are going through that struggle. It's really, really sad. I think we really need to be exposed to this more and more because so many people out there who don't have a voice, who don't have a platform, who are struggling, and yet Congress still moving along, completely ignoring these people. Really messed up. Anyways, there could be an opportunity here. 2025 tax bill, additional $4,000 deduction for seniors All right, so let's get into this. Tax provisions of the HR. The House passed the One Big Beautiful Act, which will include extensions of expiring tax cuts and Jobs Act. All right, let's get to the good stuff here. The bill, as you may have heard, new tax cuts include no tax on tips, no tax on overtime, no tax on car loan interest, and discussed below additional deduction for seniors. But what about the no tax on Social Security? Why not just throw that in there as well? Since it was promised. Anyways, what is the additional deduction for seniors in HR 1? So HR 1 would permanently extend the double standard from the TCJA, currently scheduled to revert to approximately half its current amount after 2025. It would also provide an extra inflation adjustment to the standard deduction and add $1,000 to the deduction for single taxpayers and $2,000 for married couples from 2025 to 2028. Altogether, these changes are projected to cost $1.3 trillion from 2025 to 2034. All right, now here's the senior part. What on the top of those increases, the standard deduction, HR 1 would add an additional $4,000 deduction per individual for taxpayers over the age of 65. The $4,000 would phase out at a 4% rate for single taxpayers earning more than $75,000 and married taxpayers earning more than $150,000. So a single taxpayer age 65 plus earning $85,000, for example, would be eligible for an additional deduction of $3,600. The deduction, well, it's the $3,600 because they're making over the $75,000. But let's assume you're making under $75,000, you would get that full $4,000. The deduction would phase out entirely for single taxpayers with income above $175,000 and married taxpayers above $250,000. So unlike the standard deduction, the additional $4,000 deduction for seniors would be available to taxpayers even if they itemize their deductions. So this could be good. Of course, still not officially passed yet, but a $4,000 deduction is a pretty good thing. Let me know your thoughts on that. Should it be higher rather than a deduction? Should it be a check, like a refund? Let me know your thoughts there. Also, Social Security Fairness Act may change how you pay Medicare premiums. If you received an upward adjustment to your monthly Social Security benefits due to the Social Security Fairness Act, how you pay your monthly premiums might change. So what do you do to pay if you want to pay directly? So retired public sector employees eligible for an increase under the Social Security Fairness Act should have received notices from the SSA about changes to their benefits. Retirees should wait to receive this notice before changing any Medicare payment arrangements and should continue to follow instructions on their Medicare premium bill and pay the bill to make sure Medicare coverage does not stop. Once the increased benefit is in place, the Medicare premium will be deducted from the monthly payment. If the benefit is still not enough to cover Medicare premium, the person will be billed for the remainder. So you are eligible for a refund if your premiums were unpaid to the Centers of Medicare and Medicaid Services and will now be deducted from your monthly Social Security benefits. No request for a refund is necessary. You will receive any applicable refund automatically. So yeah, it looks like, that's the thing. If you get extra money with Social Security, then you got to pay more Medicare. So then it's like, what's the point? Anyways, let me know your thoughts on that. And that is all the news that I have for today to hopefully cheer you up a bit. Here's my daughter Belle's tip of the day.
Hi guys, this is Belle's tip of the day. I want to tell you that you could be anything that you want in the world. You could be, for example, you could be a veterinarian, take care of dogs, help dogs, or you could be a nurse. And you could help people, or you could be a doctor. Or you could be like anything, as you want. You are your own self. You could be whatever you want when you get older. If you're older. Bye, that was Belle's tip of the day.
If you haven't seen Representative Larson in Congress calling for changes for Social Security, yes, the most recent video of Larson in Congress, you're going to want to click this video over here, and I'll see you in that video. Take care, be safe. Thank you for watching.